Okay, so we're going to be doing another coaching here for a Magneto player, JR0LY over here. Or I'm sorry if I butcher your name. So first things first, your peak is GM3, and your most played character is Magneto at 60 hours. So let's look it over. So this season, you only played him in this one game where you're asking for some tips. Previous season, you did have some actual playtime on him. So let's see the general stats overall. So in competitive, you have 50 hours on Magneto. Overall average damage 12k, best being 32k, 25k average damage over 10 minutes of damage block, not bad. 65.7k most, pretty decent. KOs averaging 16 over 10 minutes. So that's about 24 over like a 15-minute game, so that's not bad either. Deaths, I really wish they put deaths here. That would be a really useful stat. Okay, overall win rate is just below +1. And you seem to be a quick match mostly player. So this is the game we're going to be looking at, where you went on Magneto 37-7, 12 finals. You were playing Strange for the first part, but you were looking for specific coaching on Magneto, which is what we're going to be looking at here. Decent damage block, not terrible damage dealt. Compared to other tanks, pretty decent, I would say. It's kind of surprising that it seems... Okay, so it wasn't solo tanks, so never mind. But still, you are falling a little bit behind their tanks. So they ran triple support, it seems, and you guys ran double. Or mystery heroes. Okay, so... let's get into the match. Let's check out how this match is going. So this is a low diamond plat lobby. So you did say you were non-Magneto during the first half. I'm gonna check real quick. Just the end of the first half. You were Magneto, right? This is where you're still Strange. Still Strange. You switch to Magneto. I believe this is where you switch to Magneto after this. So this is where we're going to start watching. Okay, so by the way, this is a good little tactic you can do as Strange. You can try and block the shield, especially when your flight is down. But like your team should be hiding behind you, so there's actual effectiveness. So this is a good play by you, bad by the team. If your flight was up, you could go up to him, try and bully him, try and block, take aggro and stuff like that. You're also a console player, so that's something to, or a controller player, so that's something to keep in mind.
Disappear!
You die here. Alright. So you're gonna switch to mag. One thing to already notice, right? To state here. The enemy team is running Star-Lord and Punisher. Star-Lord ult is easily countered by a support ult because the damage isn't strong, like high-paced enough. Whereas with Punisher, his ult is longer than the Star-Lord ult, so it lasts 10 seconds, whereas Sue Storm's ult, or 12 seconds, I believe, actually. And then Sue Storm's ult lasts 8 seconds, Luna's 10 seconds, and stuff like that. And he does have enough damage, especially with headshots, to kill through, especially if there's combos with other ultimates, other damage, like Rocket ult going on, Gambit ult going on, Luna damage boosted ult going on. So Strange is going to be really quickly shredded by him, and the best counter to Punisher that basically makes this character kind of useless is a Magneto. Similarly with Star-Lord. So those are the two big counters to this play. Also, is this a PC lobby where you're playing on controller? That's something I would like to advise you to like change, because despite there being good players, I believe TTK uses a controller. You need to be insanely cracked at controller to actually be good. It would be much beneficial to you to actually switch to keyboard and mouse if you're going to be playing at PC lobbies. It's a big self-disadvantage. So you're going to be switching here to Magneto to counter these things. So let's look at your Magneto player, gameplay here. So this is mid-match defense, already overtime. So you're not going to get that much defensive play from you, which is unfortunate. But still, let's see.
I am ready to to put on a show.
Judge.
Okay, Star-Lord is a little bit hard to hit, but your reaction time where you're moving here is a little bit slow, because you can already shoot the Star-Lord here, here, and he, like, let's say you insta right click the Star-Lord into this corner, one more like regular shoot, primary fire, and he's actually going to be right click, meaning your L1, so your secondary shoot, secondary projectile. There you go. And the Squirrel here shooting at him, you would have actually killed him here. So that's your awareness being a little bit down.
I am ready to put on a show.
Judge.
Yeah, there's not much.
Execution.
Okay, so right there's two ultimates going off. Your team doesn't have a support ultimate. Your Luna's just ended. So basically, you're reacting so slowly to both of these ultimates. Your entire team is gonna get rolled because you're trying to get somebody else to kill this guy who also died to something else, right? So like your shots were not going to do anything besides boost your KD, whereas a bubble on this Luna, shielding, kiting to a corner, either this one or that one, ideally this one because you can just try and hide because of the line of sight that this ult creates, because if you find yourself over here into this little corridor, you have to run all the way this way, so you give them a lot of time to push. But if you kite around this, maybe even push this up and then kite around these, you know, that's going to give you a little bit more time to waste out the Punisher ultimate that's going on. It does seem like 10 seconds, not 12, so that's my mistake. So yeah, you being a little bit slow to react here is something that's happening. That's giving you a little bit of an issue. So, bubble the Luna, bubble yourself.
I suck.
What did the Punisher kind of just stop W King, so. You guys got lucky here. That could have cost you, but you guys got lucky. Okay, a little bit more aim here thing. To make it easier for you to aim anything, right? You can position your body towards the direction of them and not just aim with your mouse, but aim with your, not aim with your camera, but aim with your body as you are moving, and both, it's much going to be easier to stabilize it. So you can actually like move one stick, I believe, on controller. One is for the movement, one is for camera. So move one stick to the left, right? And then position yourself to align your body with theirs to be much easier to hit, rather than just shooting with your camera flicks. It's going to be harder, obviously, because it's a much smaller thing and it's much more hectic than just like slowly moving your own body. So it's going to help you a little bit more the aim. You are prioritizing the support and the DPS who are out of position over the tank, so that's good. So here, you're taking space. This is good. You do want to be taking all of the space because they're giving it to you, right? So this is smart.
I'll patch you up.
Falling back, that's good as you take the poke. Also, you don't have to hold the full duration of your shield. You can cancel it a little bit early, which means it's going to regen a little bit more a little bit quicker, which means when you get it back next time off of this cooldown, you're going to have more shield when something more drastic happens. Nice big bubble in the Emma. What I like doing into an Emma, this Emma I believe missed her dash. Yeah, she did. So what I like doing with Emmas is waiting for her to dash me and then bubbling, right? Because what she can do is, if you bubble early, she can just break the bubble and then dash you, grab you, slam you, and then do the Emma stuff. So I like letting her grab me unless there's a scenario where I'm gonna get damaged by everybody else, because then you can bubble, block the kick, and then she has no cooldowns to like continue pressing you. She's gonna be shooting at you, and then you can shoot at her back. So that's something I like doing. Plus, like shooting her with the secondary fire here, and then your bubble breaking gives you more charge in the secondary fire. It does more damage and stuff like that.
Still a chance to stop them.
You like leaving the melee in a lot. So this is a little bit of a scenario where you gave up space because your shield was like, look at your shield bar here. Okay, so look at your shield bar here. It's not even half, right? So if you put it up, you're not gonna block anything, and you're not playing around this cover. You really let the Emma push you a lot further back than you should. So you can't use this cover here, so your team can't cover behind you. It's much easier for the enemy team just look at your entire team here, because you're not holding pressure. Especially in this case, like this guy is teleporting, so you're a solo tank. So you should be holding this as much as you can, using this cover, because look, let me show you the positioning. This is a macro type of play that you have an issue with, right? So this is the main cover to play. So when they're pushing, the card goes this way, this way. Like look, there's the line here that it walks through, goes over here, and then pushes through this, right? So the way you can play this point is by having an off-angle player here that's going to be shooting, but as a tank, this is your main source of cover. This little box here and these boxes here, right? So playing around this and playing around this. So when you are holding this choke, you want to be using this cover here, and then transitioning to using this cover. When they start pressuring and ulting heavily, then you can use this cover as a last resort rather than being here. So when you're here, the best way you can go to get cover, number one, is going straight this way, which is going to have you at the line of the enemies, which is just going to get you shot at and just eating damage and potentially killing you. If they shoot good, if they have a hell of a headshots you, Hawkeye headshots and stuff like that. So hiding behind this cover is going to be good. Or your other option is to fall back behind this cover, away from your team, and then go all the way around here, which gives them all of this space and leaves your team open. So you standing on the right side here, which is the opposite side of this card, then your team is going to be a mistake. So if you look from their point of view, for example, right? The supports are leaning right side, like leaning this side. The tank is leaning right side. And then one DPS off angle, one DPS main with the tank. Imagine if they had two tanks, right? And you guys, one tank was fighting here, the other tank was fighting here. You guys had an off angle here. This tank would be taking damage. This tank would be taking damage. So the healers need to prioritize, am I going to heal this person or this person, right? So this specific scenario means, leads to one of two things, right? Either one of the tanks is going to get really pressured and has to back up, giving up space, which means you guys can push, or the tank dies. So the reason why I'm explaining this from their point of view, because this is really a helpful point of view to realize that holding one point of the card is much more beneficial than doing both points of the card. Why? Because card, obviously, in every single, this is the card, by the way, in every single map where when you're doing convoy, is used as cover, right? You can block here, you can run behind it, you can hide, and when you're attacking, the card heals you, right, passively. So you are getting value from just being around in this square, and obviously 3 people pushing it means it's faster. That's the cap, and obviously not leaving the card open and then losing the game because you're not touching the card. So why is this important from your point of view? When we go over to your point of view, your team is on the left side here, using this natural cover of the map, obviously getting poked. Iron Man is doing the wrong thing. He should be a little bit more in the sky and actually flank in, or flank in from this angle. But what you are doing is you are on the opposite spectrum of your team. So your team has 2 options, right? Look at you. Like, look at this Luna and the Rocket. Rocket is shooting, Luna is shooting, snowballs and stuff like that. They can, if they turn to look at you and just to heal you, to keep you up from this position, they're going to get freely shot at and not actually look at the enemy team. So flankers won't get CC'd, they can get collapsed on, they can get headshotted and stuff like that much easier. So by you playing, like obviously Dema kicked you, right? But let's go further back. Look slowly, let's slow this down and look at your positioning and slowly moving back. So you are hugging the right side of the card here instead of the left side of the card, which is bad because if you're hugging the right side, where can you fall back if there's pressure? This corner. And what does that leave you open to? The entire team when they hug this corner. But if you're hugging the left side here, that opens you up to this corner, which immediately gives you cover. Like, this is natural cover, and then the team has to go either from this choke all the way over here to shoot you, or from this choke all the way over here to shoot you. But if you're using this cover, the card naturally pushes to here, and they can shoot you from all the way here, right? So for you to, for you to be safe, you need to go all the way around here, leaving your team alone. Which is good if you're a mobility character, which means you're distracting your team, but you're a Magneto, you're not a mobility character, you're an angry character. So, back to the open camera. So look at your movement here. You're naturally falling to this right side, you move to the left, and then you jiggle to the right, which gets you pushed all the way over here, right? which if you were consistently moving to this side, you would actually have that cover. So this is a positional thing that's in general going to help you with in every single game, being cognizant of where your team is actually playing, and you as a tank. So you as a tank are the person who sets the pace. How aggressive we're going, how passive we're going to be going, where we are defending, how we are defending, right? If we're defending proactively, that means we're diving them, we're pushing them up. That means you're going to be the one who's driving that force. Your supports are going to be your lifeline. If your lifeline is continuously healing you, that means you can react accordingly and push. If they are not, you have to back up. But you dictate where your team is moving. So the team is going to be moving as a whole group. Like, look at their team, right? The supports are healing the Emma from the... So this is the thing that I was telling you. The supports are on the left side of the cart. The Emma's on the right side of the cart, which means they don't have line of vision of her, right? The DPS are moving with the tank and going forward. If the tank starts falling back, the team starts falling back. That's naturally how it's going to be happening. So you as a tank are going to be the one who's driving the force. So you need to be really, really cognizant of your positioning. If you're positioning around corners and using natural cover, you're going to be having a lot less resources dumped into you by your team for you to keep up. Look. So for you to walk all the way from here where you got kicked, right, to all the way over here, you lost more than half of your health bar. But if you were already positioned like this, you got pushed into your team, you're immediately in the line of sight of healers. They don't have to move even an inch, and you're getting healed. And again, the shield thing that we're talking about, if you didn't hold it as long earlier, you would have kept it up now and soaked up some of that damage. Especially the Emma thing here. The Emma Diamond. So, you are now like giving them all of this space because of you not being cognizant of where your team was. Let me go back to this view, speed this up, and let's go. So your rocket ulted, you're going W keying. What's most important here is your target prioritization. Also, keep in mind, the way rocket ult works is cover blocks it, right? It needs the line of sight to actually get healing to you. The way your rocket put it is not ideal, right? But the goal of this ult here is to be in cover, so it's harder for the enemy team to shoot at it, while your team, still gets value out of it by getting healed and shielding from it. But not healing, but shielding and damage boost from it. You should be realizing right now that you are not getting that overshield from the ult due to your positioning. You're strange in a really weird portal, which is kind of useless. You already took a lot of poke, whatever. But again, you need to realize when you are getting this shield and not, because your HP bar is not moving up. So I'm going to move this a little bit back, and I'm going to slow this down because it's a little bit of a hectic fight, right? So all of this time, you should be realizing that despite hearing the amplifier, you're not getting shielding. So either one of two things happen. The amplifier insta got shot, which it didn't, right? Or you're not in line of sight of it. So you need to position yourself to be in line of sight of it. So look how intelligently their team is using this the cart as cover. They're playing on this side of the cart, which is opposite. And what you are doing here, this is your cover. This is the main cover that you can also use to shoot from this side. But what you choose is to go away from both covers, go all the way over here, away from your team, blocking heals from the Luna, blocking heals from the Rocket, to shot from this side, which means you need to go all the way over here, all the way back here, rather than just going from this side or jumping on the cart to have a little bit of a high ground moment to actually shoot down at them. So you're wasting most of your resources, you're not utilizing the ult, and you're not getting damage out of the ult. So while the Punisher is actually almost like, the Punisher could have killed you there easily, because you're focused on getting kills, the Punisher's focused on this, the amplifier. So if he shot you one or two more times, you would have 100% died. So you waste your cooldowns, you're finally in the ult, you're doing nothing, right? You're doing nothing, you're doing nothing. You finally look at and do some damage to the Emma. The Punisher is still lined up on the ult here. People are dying. And you're dead as well. So the reason you died and the reason you lost the fight where you were in the advantage, or, I mean, I don't know, you probably guys hold, you don't hold them, so you did lose the fight fully. So the reason you lost the fight is because majority of that fight, you were not getting the value from the amplifier. You ignored the priority targets. You were looking at the ammo too much. You were not looking at the tanks. Your supports are getting push tapped. You're not healing. So you're not doing. You're giving zero value here. I don't even know if you got anything done. I'll go a little bit back. Maybe you got a kill. Maybe you shot somebody. But it from like the bird's eye point of view, you were not giving value to the team fight. So
Much better.
let's go back from this point of view and look in real time.
You cannot hurt me. You shall not be harmed.
Right, so you bubbled your Strange here, who is already using his own shield, already flying, rather than looking at your supports or your tank who's getting dived by the Star-Lord. So this is your priority target to bubble, this one. Not the Strange, but this one. If she is dying, you are dying.
So they stay down.
And she dies. Sorry, let me go back a little bit. Did you do anything here? Okay, you did miss your primary fire there, but overall, that was a good combo. But something you can learn in general is when to actually use that melee, when the melee is actually useful. Something I will show you in the practice range later. But your combo, your primary fire, secondary fire, primary fire combo, does 250 HP, right? It kills 250s. 275s, it doesn't, and that's where you put the melee in as well. The reason why I say this, Adam Warlock has 250 HP. So doing the full combo on Warlock without the melee actually kills him. So you slowing down yourself to use the melee instead of a primary fire instantly is what cost you the kill over there. That's a micro thing. That's a really small thing. When you should be using the melee is to do that one-shot combo on the Luna on the Invis. On Invis, you're not going to kill her. She's going to shield yourself, but still. Or on tanks when you're brawling the tanks. Because that's kind of Mag's only way to brawl is shield and then primary melee, primary melee, primary melee. Another thing is using your secondary fire when it's not fully charged does really low damage. I'm going to show you this in practice range. I already mentioned this in a different VOD. So that is something you can definitely not spam. Is there to finish off kills when you need it. When you're like out of all charge and stuff like that. This is really weird. What does it have? What is giving you Emma's resource here? That's funny. So yeah, most of the issues there were not actually mechanical. It was decision making and positioning, a macro type of thing, which is usually what people are going to struggle in this like diamond GM level, right? Because getting to diamond off of just your mechanical skills is actually really easy. Pushing through it and being consistently in GM requires you to have game knowledge. And you can push yourself, especially in certain roles, even higher to like Celestial off of purely game knowledge. Not as much now, where Celestial is a little bit more stacked. It's 0.5% of player base rather than like top 2% what it used to be, but still a viable thing to get through. Let's skip this fight through. We want to see what you're doing again. Walking out. This is this is a moment where what you are doing is completely fine. However, it is not ideal for multiple reasons. So, reason number one: where are your other supports? Your supports have actually teleported or died after you and are going to the second spawn while you are here. So, if they were aggressively pushing, going through this door or the other door, after winning this team fight, you are going to be under pressure from literally their entire team with zero healing, and you're going to get folded over. Especially if they have something like, I don't know, a Daredevil, a Thor, a Spider-Man, anything that can just quickly get to you there, you're going to be under a lot of pressure without much of anything to like fight them off. And it's going to take your team a while to get there. So if your team is going to be with you here, and the only person that can be with you is the Iron Man, then you can hold this pressure every single time. But like in this case, this Star-Lord can poke you a lot. If there was anybody else with him, you could have died, right? I don't think you're going to die here, you're going to fall back, but like that's just something to generally like keep track of, because sometimes it's going to cost you, most times it isn't, right, realistically. But still, if your team is going back to the second base, go with them. It's much smarter to give up the initial space, but to be grouped with your team to hold, than to try and hold that space on your own. So let's see what happens here. AFKing, waiting, hiding behind this cover. By the way, this is again, you're hiding on this side of cover, right? Knowing your team is going to be coming from, this is another thing that was telling you. So hiding behind this cover, where are you going to fall back? Right here in line of sight with literally everybody, or around here where every single higher mobility character is going to catch up to you much quicker than you're going to run away. And during that entire time, not a single one of your teammates can heal you because of all of this, right? So where you should be hiding in general, if you are going to be hiding, is preferably this, because then you can go behind cover from everybody and go for the health pack on a higher mobility character especially. Or ideally, as I said, like being around this corner, because this corner hides you from them, and you're poking and shooting from right-hand side rather than left-hand side, which means they can shoot at you before you can shoot at them. And you have a line of sight of your healers the second they're out of base. So, like, let's see how this what happens here. You're getting poked. Luckily, you have a Rocket and Luna. They're back. And you already can give up all of that space. So all you did here is potentially give him ult charge and give them ult charge. Like, you for yourself did nothing, and you for the team did nothing. So it's going to take you all the way the time to come back all the way here to actually group up. So just going back to the base would have been just completely fine, and you would have lost nothing and not risked you dying or wasted any unnecessary cooldowns, depending on the character, right? On some characters, let's say on Strange, you could have had your entire shield destroyed. On Emma, you could have used her Diamond Forward, which is 18 seconds of a cooldown, which is huge. On Venom, you could have used your E, which is also a 16-second cooldown. E being the shielding that you get, the overhealth, and stuff like that. So, like, you need to be cognizant of your cooldowns like that and positioning. So always be with your team. Never be solo on an anchor tank, especially on an anchor tank being like Emma, Groot, Mag, Strange, stuff like that, where you don't have high mobility. You always want to be with your team and anchoring the team rather than being on your own. You're not gonna have that much value on your own.
I feel like myself again.
Something I like to have you noted just really quickly. Usually, right, your secondary fire has basically an infinite range, while your primary fire has like a 20-meter range or 25, something like that. I was testing it last night. It doesn't really matter. So ideally, you're not getting any value from your right click. So from your secondary fire, which in this case is L1, right? You're not getting any value out of it unless it's getting a kill or a part of a combo, right? Because it's just damage. And just damage, it's not contributing to a kill or pressure, just means free ultimate charge for their healers, which is not what you want to be doing. Okay, I like this. Look, realistically speaking, right? The ult as a defensive one, good, great. You're canceling a Star-Lord ult. Your supports don't have ultimates. That's great. Are you going to try and aim at the Star-Lord, try to cancel him out? That's a potential, but it takes more skill. Let's look at who is the easiest thing to kill. Okay, let me look who's out of position. Their supports. Okay, what can happen? Sue can shield the ult, obviously. Their Strange can shield the ult, but you looked really well here. Looked around. Who can I hit? Let me slow this down a little bit. Who can I hit? You take a little bit of time. Who can I hit? Okay, the supports. Wait. Shoot. Really good. What I would have done, which would have gotten you one kill, but maybe guaranteed the kill, is gone straight for the Luna a little bit more to the right, trying to assure that the Invis doesn't shield her. But you got lucky on that aspect that she jumped, maybe didn't even have the cooldown. She had the cooldown, she just misplayed. But still, really good ult, really clean, really good job. What do you do next, though? So he is shooting your supports. You look to try and kill him. This is where you can use the secondary fire, because it's a longer range. It ensures you're gonna like aim wider, and it's actually, I would say, an easier projectile to kind of aim with while somebody's flying. If his right clicks here were down, there's no chance he dies to you there, but you're applying pressure, which is really good. Also, this is cute. So yeah.
Needed some help.
Good job. Good play all around from you. You love the melees. Nice shield on the Wolverine. Okay, keep in mind, they have only the Warlock. This is where you need to be driving your entire team and calling pressure, 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 pressure. And focusing who? Warlock. Or Punisher if he walks out of position.
Anyone willing to help?
Nice. Good job. Good job. A little bit of a micro thing there, just like knowing where the targets are, how many there are left. This is not a hectic fight. You should be keeping track of that better. But overall, good job. Good fight by you.
Side is showing Logan. How delightful.
A nice deep freeze. Down to 30 seconds.
See, this is what I was telling you earlier that I'm going to show you from this point of view, right? This is your cover on your right-hand side, right? If you shoot, because this is a third-person game, from here, like doing this, you're most likely going to shoot this until your full body is here and then you can shoot. He is shooting from his cover on the left-hand side. If he goes out of cover, he shoots. His bit of his body is covered and he can still shoot, right? So you don't want to be playing cover on... this is something you're doing a lot. So don't play cover on this side. Play cover on this side, the way your supports are doing. Because look, I mean, this is such an easy way to look at it, but like, look at this. This is my cover. This is where I can shoot. This is my cover. This is where I can shoot. You get what I mean? I think it's really clear when you look at it from this point of view, right? Because, like, look at this. I can't shoot anything unless I fully go all the way here, and then I have actual full vision. At that point, why am I just not here using this cover where my teammates are? Which is giving up some space. So, the way you can do it is walk up all the way here, and then shoot from this way and then fall back slowly, right? Because you do have the pressure. Because look, you initially killed their supports, but then you delayed killed these three, right? Okay, not this guy, but like these three, which means these two are the only ones that are going to be here. There's no pressure at you, right? It's the Startled and two supports. So you can just walk at them and take this pressure, like all of this space from them. Play around this corner a little bit, right? Because you're shooting out here and then shooting out here, and then you can fall back when their team regroups and then reset, which means you're getting higher value and potential kill their supports early, and you're driving your team to go up because you're a tank, and then driving them back.
You're welcome.
You stop them in their tracks.
That's fine. A little bit of mechanical skill, completely fine. You can get better at it. More practice. That's it.
Insignificant gnats.
Right, again, playing on the wrong side of a cart. Let's see what you do here.
Executioner!
Final 10 seconds.
By the
I am ready to put on a show.
Alright. Not much you can do differently here, but realistically, right? When Punisher is ulting, you as Magneto, with your ult, can hold it off like a zone, and it's going to take all the damage during your shield being up. Same thing with your bubble. So you can bubble at that break, 300 damage to 50, then shield, wait for that to break, and then fall back. You can also call it out. Say, I'm shielding, ult a little bit later. Once your shield is done, then your Luna ults. So you're like soaking up more of that timer and then getting a little bit of advantage there. You didn't use your shield. Also, keep in mind, you are not immortal inside of any of these ults, especially not against the Punisher, especially if, sorry, any of these ults, especially if the Punisher has any sort of damage boost or anybody else shooting at you. If you shoot your head, you're going to just die. So you don't want to be just like looking around, trying to kill somebody else or this and that. You can pressure the Punisher, you can shoot at the Punisher, but don't just like be willy-nilly looking around. Even though this Punisher is bad, don't just allow for somebody else's mistake that is blatant to put you into bad habits.
Disappear. Keep fighting until we have a winner.
So they double ulted, you ulted, and now you can walk in and pressure this. So something that I was already saying, which is even truer here. If there's a support ult going, right? And you can kite it. So it doesn't mean that means you're not going to fight inside of the ultimates. Just shooting at the enemies during the ult being up is just free pressure and free ult charge for you. Because they're not going to be healing it out because, look, so during the duration of her ultimate, Invisible Woman got 0 ult charge. Which means even if she has to over-heal something, over the healing amount of her ultimate, she she can't do it. She's not going to get actual value out of it from her ult charge. While you shooting at her is actually going to give you the value in the ult charge. So you can freely just shoot somebody inside of an ult, even if you miss or get like 2 shots off. That's free ult charge. Let's see how you play this.
Willing to help?
So this is something where you should be realizing. Let me slow this down a little bit. So she's one here. You should immediately flick your camera to the left and use your secondary fire on her. It kills her, right? Or leaves her at 1 HP and you just primary fire her at the same spot and just kill her, right? So this is a little bit quicker micro reaction time that you need to get used to, because you're not focusing on a specific target being their supports. You're kind of just looking at the fight and kind of just trying to see what happens.
Your souls unite. I'll patch you up. Fucking hurt.
Right, see, your something I already said. Star-Lord in his little E animation, right? He is going to be basically hard as hell to hit there. So you don't want to be trying to hit him there. Instead, what you should be looking to do is this. Focus on these guys. Even though everybody is soul-bounded, if you're focusing these guys, that's a lot more pressure because this is their healers. This is the lifeline. They wouldn't have to back up. And if you kill any of them, you're doing a lot more value. So you focusing on the Star-Lord is general. There is bad.
This is real firepower.
A nice deep freeze.
Again with the combos. And your team wins your team fight. Right. So you had 0 impact in this little team fight. Your biggest impact so far during this entire time was that one ult you did, and you basically did nothing else.
Time to switch things up, including which side.
Something to realize and to keep track of.
It's easier.
Okay.
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Now we are on attack. So this is something I said in the previous video as well with Strange. Don't put your shield up unless you're going to die in this type of situation, because you're not going to have it later. All of the poke damage that you take and your team takes here can easily be out healed because it's really long range. Only way your team is going to die is if they get double tapped by a Hela, single tapped by a Widow, or single tapped by a Hawkeye. If they die there, the character is now known that it exists, and then you can play more cover. So just take the free damage and take free ult charge for your team. Right. So as you're doing here, there's no reason to shoot the Emma because she's under 0 pressure from the rest of your team. Shoot at the enemy supports or squishies, the DPS. Right. Shooting at the Emma here does nothing because this character is shooting at everybody else, not the Emma, and this character is shooting at air. But still, you get my point. Shooting at the Emma just builds support ult charges. If there's 2 tanks here, it even does that even more. And then shooting at the rest of the team is much more valuable. Shielding again. I don't know what you're shielded here. Look.
I feel like myself again.
Right. So like trust your supports there. You drop down to like 300, immediately jumped up to 400, then you shielded, right? Trusting your supports when you're getting continuously healed, that you don't need to put your shield up because they're building their support ults. That's kind of their goal at the moment, right? So you taking that damage just means you're going to build that support ult charge quicker, right? So let your team do their job.
You need not fear. Your attacks are futile.
About the same comments. Again, if you do that combo on a support, you're gonna make way more pressure. On Warlock, so look, Punisher, 300 HP. This guy, 375 HP, 600 HP, 250, 275, 275. This is the easiest person to kill on their team. Even though he has this ability, which is going to heal him quicker, if you insta-kill him, insta-shoot him with somebody else on your team, he's going to blow up. Your combo doing primary fire, secondary fire, primary fire, insta-kills him, right? So, that's prioritization. You're going for the second highest health person that's alive instead of the lowest health person who is alive, who is a much higher priority target because his soulbound is a really strong ability and he's a healer. And this is a situation where you actually do use your shield to shield yourself. Look at this. Getting slowly healed. Look how low your health drops. You want to know why? She is not, you're not in her line of sight. She's going left with the other tank. And this is the moment I was telling you about earlier. Perfectly visualized. So, main cover, 2 paths. One support has to go with one person, the other support against other person. If there's 2 DPS shooting at you and 1 DP and no one shooting at this guy, he is walking in freely, but this support cannot keep you up. So you're just gonna die despite getting healed, right? So this is something a communication issue or positioning issue. You went from this choke, your team didn't follow you, they went the other way around, which means that's a mistake. So you as the anchor tank should be driving the calls here and saying where you're going to be pushing. And ideally, you are going to be pushing from this side because it's a lot more open. This is a little bit of a tighter squeeze. But you are using the cover correctly. This is more open. And you're going in deeper into the fight. But still, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. Because look, you're only getting healed by the Luna, so you have to back up. Meanwhile, the Sue, see, and then Sue, your Susan, right, dips to heal you as well, and the Squirrel who's now cutting this corner. But look at the thing, he almost dies, but he gets lucky that his supports get him up, and the enemy team isn't shooting him correctly and killing him quickly enough, right? So here, you're focused on this Emma instead of just doing this. Look at this. Walk, 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 walk. Boom, 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 dead. Boom, 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 dead. This guy's already dead. Oh, that's such a little sliver of health there, Punisher. Right? Instead, you're focused on the Emma. And then this guy gets to born again freely. Right? If they had another support ult, they could have won the fight. Right? So yeah. Target prioritization. And look, imagine if you just killed this Luna earlier. None of this would have been happening here. And let's say, I don't know, you don't have support ults, whatever reason, right? Random ass, right? And the Punisher has an ult, and there's a Luna ult, and then he ults, and then she ults, and then your entire team dies, and all the fight is just lost because of poor target prioritization, right? That's kind of what I'm consistently trying to get into here. All of these mistakes didn't matter because the situation allowed for it. But if all of these mistakes add up and the situation isn't favorable for you, you are going to lose these situations. That's how you're going to get stuck by doing the exact same thing every single game and feeling like, oh, I sometimes get a reward and sometimes not. So if you're being proactive and killing their supports, you're going to get a lot more value than being reactive like this.
To put on a show.
And now you're focused on her. Okay, another little quick tip. The way Luna ult and Mantis ult works is if you put a shield in between the ult, right, and the person getting healed other than Luna, they're not actually going to get healed. So if you were standing, say, right here, right? Punisher is here. This is the Luna circle, right? Punisher is here. You're here. If you shield, the Punisher's not going to get healed. And the damage your Squirrel, where the hell is she? Okay, she's in Narnia. I have no idea how this little acre is over there, but whatever. If your team is shooting at the Punisher while you're isolating him here with a shield, he's going to die without getting any healing. But this is fine. You're isolating the target. You're going to kill him here. All right, good job. Oh, sorry. Oops. And then you kill the other two. Right. So good job there. Just another little tech you can add to your arsenal.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Hello, wake up. That's not okay. My brother is filming a TikTok on his play there.
What is this turret thing? Fair.
I feel like myself again.
By the way, I know I'm making fun of you, but take space. You're a tank.
A nice deep freeze.
You cannot judge.
Right. Look at this. Is okay. So the way I'm gonna assume you're just gonna instantly nuke this guy, but just ulting and then popping him down. Sometimes Punisher players are going to wait for you when you ult and not actually do it, so there's time to shield it and then they can start shooting. The way you can bait it out is by just putting your shield in front of them, making them think, oh, I can pour into this guy, he doesn't have ult, let's fucking go. And then you pop him with the ult nuke, right? Using cover, ulting him as late as possible, trying to get somebody else as well. Let's see what you do. Right, so this is kind of a luck and unlucky moment. They don't have a Magneto of their own. They don't have anything else. this Punisher is kind of bad. Your Squirrel ult got lucky and also hit him. Sorry about that. So when you're nuking them and ulting them like that, right? You're actually not getting any realistic value, despite getting kills there, right? Because you're just getting lucky, right? So the way you're gonna be ulting here, let's slow this down now, and look at this ult again. Right. So, right? Look at your positioning. Why aren't you moving yourself either higher up to get better vision, or moving yourself to the left, right? Over here, so you can get vision properly of him and kill him. And you also just throw it, right? Look at this. Yeet. You're not aiming at him. So all of this damage is just luck. That your ult was charged enough and then that he was close enough and jumping, right? And then you're lucky enough that the Squirrel is going to finish him off and he's not in the side of a support ult or getting extra healing or yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? So that's something you should be cognizant of is how to bait cooldowns. Because look, he's shooting from all the way over here. And then you guys can kite all this time. Like, look how much time you guys have to just basically kite this entire ultimate. Like, by the time you hit him, he's already used up some of his ultimate. And then he has to, like, move around this corner, and then get vision of you. By the time that all happens, you can already be behind where this guy's hiding. Look at him. Look at this little pretty face. Hiding just here. Not even worrying about the Punisher ever, right? So you didn't even have to ult there. You know what I mean? So again, this is just lucky kill on him.
Feel like myself again.
And you're gonna roll them. Naturally. See, you're kind of just looking, having no clue what to do next. Whenever you are in doubt what to do next after kills happen, run at them. If you kill the DPS, run at the supports. If you kill the supports, run at everybody else. If you kill the tank, run at everybody else, right? Or run at the supports. Just nuke the supports and whenever the hell you can. So just W key, W key, W key. Or in this case, left stick move up. Left stick move up, I guess. So.
A nice deep freeze. Needed some help.
Let your DPS deal with the flanker. You're never catching the Star-Lord. Even if you do a lucky combo and just one-shot him, that's a lucky combo. Let your DPS deal with the Star-Lord and your supports. Invisible Woman can solo him.
No more tyrants shall rise.
So look, you're chasing him and he's already going to be in Narnia. Not caring about you, living his best life and all that.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Meanwhile, you could nuke these two motherfuckers instantly with just a combo or two. And you could have probably saved your thing because you're not pushing with him. He's alone. He's doing the correct thing, but his team is not with him. You as the anchor tank drive your team to walk forward. They're like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, because nobody's on cart. Look, your team is actually playing around you and not playing around this guy. So if you were driving them all the way here, they're going to play with you. They're going to just be magnetized to you. So look, nobody's pushing cart. So they're not away. They're close to you, but they're close to you. So you need to be driving the point as the anchor tank.
I like the cold.
And now you're backing up, giving space because he died, despite realizing they don't have a DPS that can still pressure even a little bit more, you know?
Ah, much better.
And because you're not taking the space and not taking the pressure, they're bringing the fight to you. So you're kind of, again, in this little, oh, am I on left side card, right side card? Where do I go? Oh, no. What do we do? Oh, jump around, jump around. Oh, now they can't see me. Oh, let me melee the Emma. Oh, let me bubble. Oh, we die. Right, so if you took space correctly, pressured them correctly, you wouldn't have folded over like this because you would have had a place to like fall back. Right, this is where you fall back, but you being here, jumping all the way around here, having your healers trying to like wiggle around to you, right? Rather than being here, pushing, using this natural left side cover, and then falling back when necessary, and then your Luna can ult and save your entire team. So yeah, this entire mistake, this entire lost fight is off of you. Not taking space correctly, not being proactive, being reactive, and not positioning correctly. The same mistakes I've been talking about, by the way. This isn't anything new. This is something you can work on, and it's a specific thing we already went over.
My power cannot be quelled.
Anyone
I
willing to
feel
help?
like myself again. You cannot
Get
hurt
that
me.
vehicle moving again.
You shall not be harmed.
It's okay.
Yeah, so as you can notice throughout this video as well, I'm not commenting at all about your aim. Your aim is fine, especially for a controller player. I'm not looking at the stats, but let me look at the stats really quickly. 50% accuracy. You're good, right? The issue you're having is you're not shooting at the correct targets. You're shooting at the highest mobility character in the lobby with Star-Lord. That's not your target. This guy is stationary. He has a little boop away, and that's it. This guy, there's some memes about this guy being in a fucking wheelchair, bro. Shoot him. You know, she has ice skates, but that's when she builds momentum. Going backwards, she has zero momentum. You know, so like shoot at the stationary targets, shoot at the high priority targets. So as I said multiple times, this is the highest priority target, the easiest motherfucker to kill. This motherfucker's number 2. This motherfucker's number 3. Don't even try with this guy unless he's alone. And Emma, if she's out of position, right? Otherwise, no, she beats you in a 1v1. So there's no pressure. Shoot. Right. So he is being support ulted. Your team is support ulting. You looking at him and just being menacing, like, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. This is useless. Look at the enemy supports. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this girl. Look at him. Okay, don't look at him. You know? Stop looking at him over there. Put pressure. You're under a support ult. You're fine. You're not going to die. So, like, look to create some pressure here so they aren't pushing you as hard as they are right now.
Put on a show.
I want to see one more of your ults, right? And then I'm going to stop the VOD and go into practice range to show me some stuff.
Executioner!
Right, so you're finally realizing cover, right? And using it there. Then you're trying to cover for your support with 0 cooldowns. You're just going to get multed, both of you. Which doesn't matter. In this case, what I would be calling is just die quickly, just die quickly, just die quickly. So that your entire team is on the same respawn timer, about 10-ish seconds, and then you can go in together.
Oh, sweet moves, right?
A little help, please. Get that vehicle moving again.
Newton's greatest gift.
I'm hurt.
Oh, did you see that?
A nice deep freeze.
Quickly, we must venture deep.
See, this is just a lucky shot, right? You did aim, but that's a lucky shot. You're not going to repeat that shot 50 amount of time. Cool, you got it. It's a nice clip, right? However, this is so inconsistent. You got it once over the entire round playing Magneto, right? That's what I'm going to try and get at you. You got him once like this. Once. But you could do that to anybody else much quicker, much easier, much more consistently. That's your kind of goal here. That's what you want to be doing.
Much better.
By the way, you know that they use this ult. You know they use this ult. You know this guy ulted. You know this guy's dead, right? Something you can do as a Magneto, as a playmaker, right? Ult right here and try and nuke their team. They have this girl's shield, and that's it. And soulbound. Right? Which was on cooldown. Right? So, which is this ability here. Because they used it in the last fight. So you aggressively ulting here, right? And trying to nuke somebody. Or like, look how grouped they are. Like, look how juicy this is, bro. Look at this. They're so juicy. Like, look at this, bro. Look at this. Look at this triple support just being so together. You just go, whoop. This guy's already shooting all of his shots. Like, look at him. He's being crazy. These people are also shooting. You just ult. Boom, 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 boom. And then they all die. So you... Magneto is a reactive character with his ultimate majority of the time. Why? Why? Because obviously, right? Your ult is a showstopper, right? The Punisher's ulting. I just ult him. I kill him, right? This guy's ulting this and that, right? So you can aggressively take space here, win the fight for your entire team here, and then you can all walk, and basically maybe even by the time everybody's back up, you can probably push all the way over here, and they might not even have time to teleport back to the base if you just nuke their supports and just win this fight really quickly.
Born again! Insignificant gnats.
Good job, Tommy.
You
I like
need
the
not
cold.
fear. Usually I create my own shield. No more time tyrants shall rise while I
Looks
still
like they mean business.
So I have noticed that lower level players, when I'm spectating, they usually have like one guy. They're like, "Oh, this guy's so bloody annoying. I'm gonna focus him the entire game. Oh my god, he took my lunch money." Uh, rather than being like, who's the easiest target to kill? It's not the Star-Lord who can just be like throughout the fucking map, like spinning, jumping, dashing, doing backflips and all that stuff, right? So you focus on the supports, focus on the stationary targets. I know I've been talking about this a lot. Right, so why did you fire this so early? Why did you panic here? Let's see. Because you didn't get any of the kills, and let's see why.
Shields up.
fear Magneto.
Clearly you needed some help.
Right, you could have waited around this amount of time, even, or more charge. Right, you need at least 70-ish, 80-ish charge to actually kill somebody with your ult, or you need it to be 3/4 down, like here for 75 and like a little bit around here for 85 if there's zero charge. For 275 characters, they need to be, the ult charge needs to be around this with zero charge, or 75% like around here for 250s. Or it needs to have like 70 charge here, right? So you got neither of those. I don't know why you panic ult and just like shot it here. You could have just waited like this much and you would have killed all three here. Because look how little more damage you needed. Like, you definitely felt badly there. But that's another tip, right? Just like wait the ult charge. You can chill, aim it, right? Don't panic. Don't just like shoot it. You're gonna be doing better. Still got a kill off of it, which is great. Just saying, could have already finished the fight. And why are you resetting here, right? Like, you know this guy died. This guy's about to die. This guy died. You know you almost killed this guy, and you know you almost killed this guy. Just walk with them. What's the reset about? Right, you did fold him over, but like these little seconds matter a lot. Just like walk with them earlier, right? Every single time, because you get into this mentality of this passiveness, just reactiveness. If you're being proactive, you're going to be creating more opportunities for you and pushing your lead way more. That's a lot more value than just like reacting to what's happening, because then you're always dependent on your enemies and not on yourself. The constant about every single match you are in is you, the player, not the enemies, not the opponents, not the allies. You are the consistent in every single one, the constant in every single one of your games, right? So if you are being consistent, consistently making plays, consistently being aggressive, consistently being proactive rather than reactive, that means the constant in your games is always going to be better, and it's a higher chance you're going to win more of your games. Right, so as I said, I wanted to see that one more fight from you. And as I mentioned, I'm going to show you a little bit of some mag tech and some mag stuff. Right. So, main thing, as I said, is the little positioning stuff. That's a little bit of the macro. On the micro decision making is stuff like this, right? So, the thing I was telling you about Magneto, right? This is infinite. This is finite range, right? So, you don't want to be using those abilities, right? This, when you're aiming at the Star-Lord from vast distance, because you're going to miss a lot of the shots. Look how easier it is to just, like, boom. There's a little bit of a... let me turn on the ability cooldowns, right? So, when you're doing something like this, right? Right, you see how I can lead the shot a little bit? Right, I'm looking at this, and then boom, right? Right? I'm flicking it, right? So when you're trying to track somebody in the air, right? This, I can't, right, see, I can't flick it. I can't flick it. It goes where, when I press the button, it goes that distance, right? But when I do this, there's a delay. I can follow them, track them, right? And basically much easier land a hit on them because I can course correct the sporadic movement when they're in the air, rather than doing this, which is always going to shoot the way I'm shooting. So that's number one thing. Number two, the breakpoints that I was talking to you about, right? So this is a 275 HP character, right? So my combo, oops, that's the Magneto combo. That is not killing. With that, it is killing, right? So when you're doing your little combo, which is this, that's going to kill a 275 HP character, right? So you're doing the melee cancel, the right click, and another primary fire, so secondary fire, primary fire, that confirms the kill, right? That's going to be a kill, right? So that's when you're actually getting the value of the melee. But look at me fighting a... who was it on your enemy team? I think Warlock, right? Yeah. So on Warlock... Can you respawn, buddy? What are you doing? Okay, let me do something else. Who's also 250 HP? I think Salak's 250? Yeah, she's 250, right. So, the point I'm trying to make is, you doing this, you're overkilling her. So it's much quicker for you to do this and kill him. I keep missing that last shot. I'm sorry. I'm looking bad. It's because of the weird position, because I'm trying to like not push them down the ledge here, and they do stuff like that, because then they can fall down if I miss. So this is kind of awkward. You don't want to be this close, which is making it a little bit harder for me to aim. But you get the gist of my point, right? It's like this combo, right, is actually confirming that kill without doing the melee. And look how much more delayed the combo actually is with me weaving in the melee than just using the combo. So let's look at this little fella over here. Like, he's also 250. Right, that's the combo that is going to kill him. Right, I do not need the melee to actually kill him. If he was 275, like with the Luna, I do need it. Right, it's like when we're looking at the Psylocke, this is much easier, much more confirmed than doing something like this melee. This shit, I can't even get the primary off. But yeah, something like this, right? It's much slower, as you can see. So the place where you do use the melee, for example, is let's say I'm fighting a Thor, which I never want to be brawling, but this is the way I want to be fighting a Thor. The reason why is, it doesn't actually lower your time to kill. If I put on the timer, right, and I just did this the entire time and killed the Thor, it's going to take about the same amount of time as me doing this to the Thor, because of the delay, right? However, I do it in order to save my ammunition. Yeah, so save this ammunition over here, and also build my ult charge, because the melees also build ult charge, right? Right, so I killed him in about 5 shots in the melees. I got 19 ult charge. This is if I'm just using the primary fire. It's a little bit less. It's a little bit, sorry, poorly worded. It's about the same ult charge, but I use half of my shots. I used their 5 plus 3. That's 8 shots compared to 5 shots. So I have another 2 shots or 3 shots or whatever the math is there to actually build even more ult charge. Right, so that's kind of the main goal of using the melee, and you do not want to be using that melee on squishy targets. So same thing I was saying in terms of aim. Look, let me show you what's easier. So I know this is a stationary target, right? But if I'm just doing this while I'm moving, because I'm a moving target, I'm easier to hit, right? Or harder to hit. Jumping as well, right? If I'm using, look, I'm barely moving my mouse and just clicking, kind of a little bit correction. But main thing I'm trying to correct here is not my camera like this. I'm not aiming like this, like with the camera. I am aiming mostly with the body. Right? So I'm lining them up with the body, with like my entire movement, and then shooting. It's much easier and much more consistent to hit, especially with projectiles than hit scan, than just doing something like, chasing a target that's moving, right, with just my camera. So like, if I'm just, come on, buddy, right, because he is moving, right? So if I'm just positioning myself to where he is moving, it's gonna be much easier for me to hit him than if I'm sitting still and just doing this, right? It's much easier, much more consistent to play like that, unless you're playing a hit scan. Because with a hit scan,
Why should Asgard not be mine?
right, it's easier to actually not move yourself, but just focus on this movement, stand still, and then aim, right? But that's hit scan, which I'm bad at. And with, see, I'm bad. That's hit scan. Oh my god, die. There we go. So that's in general the little tips that I can give you. Another thing that I was trying to tell you earlier is look how much easier this cover is for me And boom, I'm shooting at him, right? And still using this cover. Meanwhile, if I was shooting at him from, say, this cover, can't see him, can't see him, can't see him, can't see him. I can see him finally. My entire body's outside of cover. I'm basically not even using this cover, right? This is not ideal cover situation, right? Because this is kind of an off angle from this Thor, but you get kind of what I'm trying to say there. Is utilizing some, it's kind of maybe even better to show you from this way, right? So I'm using this cover, right? I'm actually in cover when I'm shooting, right? So them shooting at me is going to be harder for them, right? And it's easier for me to shoot at them and peek. But if I'm shooting from this cover, right? Right, that's kind of what I was trying to say there. You can't actually shot it. So that's the main thing I was telling you about. Also, I don't know, is this guy full HP? Yes. Okay. So, all charge. I didn't hit him directly, right? But like, that's usually where you're going to be getting the full ult charge on him. If you're around 75%, 80. Okay, sorry, that's too much. I overshot it. All right, let's go again. So, 75% on the ult charge, 0 charge. That was a little bit under 75%, and that's why he lived. So a little bit over 75% or any other shot, right? So let's say I'm standing in here. Let me kill those guys well. They're gonna both start shooting, and I'm gonna shoot it at the Thor afterwards. So look at this. That was about 35 charge and fully charged. It did that much damage to the Thor, right? So as you can see, using both of those strategies. Meanwhile, if I'm just ulting fully charged here, right? It's not gonna kill, right? It does way more damage when you're actually getting full charge. And holding it fully is gonna give you even more damage than just insta-popping it, despite of the charge. And it's actually gonna be much closer to hitting and killing. So that's something you should know about the ult. We went over the cover thing, we went over the combos, we went over the melee tech that you were using, and everything else mechanically seems you're overall good with. Is that little decision making, play making. So instead of just looking at the ammo that's right here, look at the supports that are over there. Oh boom! Oh look, the support's dead. Oh look, another support's dead. Look how much quicker that is than me shooting at this Thor right over here, like who is. Right, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, the Thor is dead, right? Meanwhile, a support out of position, especially Adam Warlock over there, right? Oh, Warlock's out of position. Guys, the Warlock's dead. Oh, another DPS is out of position. Oh, guys, the DPS is dead. Right, rather than shooting at the Emma. Or shooting at, like, this, like, look. Those guys are stationary, right? These guys are moving on the ground. Who's going to be easier for me to hit? This guy? Or this guy? Right? Imagine this guy can also kickflip, is faster, and everything that Starlord has, right? So, like, try and look at the easiest target to hit, isolate him, kill him as many times as possible. It's going to be better for you. So, yeah, in general, that's a little bit, that's about it for Magneto. So, yeah, good luck with your games and improve. Good luck.